Hello and welcome back to another Makeup Monday video. I'm Jennifer Mata-McMahon. I thought I would share with you how I fared this week after my Shop My Stash of last week with the products that I selected to use. Let's get into it. Okie doke, so this is what I selected for this week. Here are the only lip products that I selected. The primer, the only primer, the setting sprays, the eyeshadows, brow products, the mascara, and the face products. And I'll walk you through how I fared and how they performed, and some of the questions that I had was if I was having allergic reactions to these products or not. So I'll let you know how that worked out too. So let's start with the lips, because the lips was something that I was trying out. So I tried both of these colors on different days, and I tried all of these lip pencils. I realized this one is the one I like the most. It's the nude color, and then I had natural, and then I had spice. So today I used spice for the first time, but actually I used natural and nude the most. Nude I combined with the rosy tone lipstick that I had, and natural I combined, and spice I combined with the warm tone one. And I found that I don't love these as much as I thought I did, because they seem to bleed out of my lip lines. Even though I'm wearing the lip liners to sort of contain them, they seem to bleed out a little bit. They do feel really nice and moisturizing on my lips, which is what I loved about them to begin with, but it looks a little sloppy. It doesn't look neat when applied, and I didn't really enjoy that. But I noticed that there wasn't necessarily an allergic reaction in terms of peeling or itching on my lips. I did notice that they would run out quickly, like wear off quickly, and I had to reapply, but as I reapplied and maintained my lips moisturized, that just worked well for me. I also was applying lip balm a lot, so either at night, and I apply lip balm at night every night, and in the morning before I would wear these lip glosses or these lipsticks. So that might have helped a bit, but I can tell you that my lips are not feeling like they're worse for wear because of these lipsticks. So I don't know that they're the best formula, but I don't know that they're actually causing an allergic reaction on my lips or drying them out particularly. So that was good to find out. I don't feel like I need to declutter these or throw them out immediately after using them exclusively this week. The other thing that I used exclusively this week, and it was the only one, was this primer. I liked it. The first time I wore it, it pilled a little bit, so you could see those little bubbles, or those little like beads of primer, especially when I went in with the powder foundation on top with a pad. But then I quickly discovered that I needed to use a brush with it. So this was the powder foundation that I used all week. And again, I confirmed that it is a little bit dark for my skin right now, the color of it. But it worked well with that primer if I used a brush. I did not use the puff that it brings. Other than that first time that I realized it was pilling, and that was the end of the use of the pad, the puff that this brings. I did use my Morphe setting spray every day, and I think it has just one use left, but because I didn't finish it, I didn't go on to the e.l.f. one, so I actually did not try this e.l.f. misting spray or setting spray. I did have to bring out, which I hadn't brought out for the Shop My Stash video, this banana setting powder to set my concealer, because this is too heavy to set my concealer. So, and since this was the only foundation that I was using, I figured I really need to set my concealer with something and to make it not crease. I was only using my Maybelline concealer, which I've used many times, so I wasn't necessarily trying it out, and I know I like this concealer, so I used this and set it with the banana powder all week, and that was fine. These were all trusty ones, my bronzer, my highlight. I use these regularly, and I know that I love them, and they performed as well as they ever do. I wasn't necessarily trying those. I was using these blushes. I discovered that this cool tone blush does not look good on me. It is one that people love. It's called Romantic Rose, and everybody seems to rave about this blush. It doesn't look good on me. I think I am going to declutter that because of it. This one was nice, but I feel like it faded quickly. And I didn't necessarily love the color either. This is Tea Rose, so I don't know. I feel like these Milani blushes are just not my favorite. And no wonder I didn't reach for them, because they actually are not my favorite. This one does not look good on me, and this one fades away very quickly, and the color is not necessarily my favorite either. So I think I'm going to declutter both of these blushes and give them away to someone that's going to use them and love them, because they're beautiful, but if I'm not going to use them, I don't need to keep them with me, right? So I learned that. I also was trying these guys. Nothing else was something that I was trying for the first time. All of these products I know I love, and I continue to use them, and they were fine for me. The eyeshadows, though, were something that I was trying out. So I didn't use the Emily Edit too much, but I know I love that palette. I just had shopped my stash for it to actually use it a little bit more and more often than what I actually do, because it was stashed back over there with my eyeshadows back in the bottom, because since it's a big one, I have my Morphe palettes on the way bottom of these stacks, and the Emily Edit palette was on top of the Morphe ones there. So I never really reached for it, so I pulled it out to reach for it. But since I wanted to try these and see if they were causing an allergic reaction to my eyelids, and if they were the cause of my itchy lids and my watery eyes, I didn't use this palette as much. I used this one once, and I feel like the cool tone look that I had on was not my favorite. I think I need to play with other colors in that palette, so maybe leave them out and continue to use them next week, because really I used it just once. What I did use a lot were these LA Girl quads, right? So I used this one a lot one day, and I used a combination of these two the second day, and then the third day I used just the mattes, and then today I think I have again a combination of these two. So I used these eyeshadows 4 days of the 5 weekdays, and then the first day, I think Monday, I used the Tarte palette. And again, the Emily Edit I didn't use at all this week. So what I found out, my eyes were really watery. I think it was Tuesday, and which was the first day I was using these. And I in the back of my mind, I thought, oh, it's the eyeshadows, because the mascara is one that I've used 1,000 times, and that's not it. The eyeliner is one that I love, and it's actually my second one of these, and that's not it. And so those were the only things. And the concealer also has been one that I've used and used time again, so that wasn't it either. So it had to be the eyeshadows. But then someone told me, like, oh, I've been hearing that a lot of people are having allergies because spring is around the corner, or it's practically here. So a lot of people are suffering from allergies, and I am not one that has suffered from allergies before that I've noticed that much because of spring. But there's a first time for everything, right? So I don't know. Maybe it is that I'm just allergic to something in the environment, and that's why my eyes are watering so much. It's also primarily my right eye. So my left eye is fine, and my right eye is just watering all over the place and itchy. I also thought it might be the brushes, and as you can see, the brushes have been used because I used them this week, but I started out the week with really clean brushes. So I don't know. I don't know. My eyes, like as we speak, are not watering, are not itchy, and I have one of these palettes on my eye, so on my eyelid. So I don't know. I still don't know if these guys have something in them that cause irritation to my eyes and cause them to itch, or not, or if it's just the season and because of spring my eyes are watering regardless of what I have on them. I'm not sure. They have itched, they have watered, and I have been using these quads for most of the weeks, but it's also spring, so I don't know. I guess I would have to continue to try them. I guess I don't, and there's also a difference between the shimmers and the mattes. The day that my eyes watered a ton, I had a shimmer in the crease. Today I have all mattes, so I'm not sure. I think I would have to continue using exclusively these to be able to figure out if they are really affecting my lips. But I can tell you I got bored of my makeup. I got bored of this only being the only foundation that I was using, and that it was a powder foundation. I got bored of the blushes really quickly because this one looked very bad on me and that was out, so I only had one blush. The other blush that is in this palette is also a cool tone blush, and I don't love it on me either. So this is actually the blush that I used the first day. Let me see if I can open this up. So I used this blush the first day, and as you can see, it's a very cool tone blush. It's actually similar to the Tea Rose. It's just a tad, like a hint more warm, because it has like a hint of I don't know, orange in it. A very light, like salmon-y color in it that this one doesn't have. This is purely rose pink and very cool tone. But this one doesn't look that great on me either. I think it's just too light, too similar to my skin tone. And the shadows here are really nice. I really like them, but I think the day that I wore this, I only used like a one shadow look. And it looked really cool toned, so I need to like play with these more. I think this actually would look really nice on my eyelid. I think I should do that next time and use that as an eyeshadow. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave this one out for this week and continue to play with it a little bit more. And then, as I said, declutter these blushes, give them to someone that's going to appreciate them, and maybe continue to play with these at another time because I got bored of what I had out. So I'm gonna put these guys away and take out something different to play with next week. This is why I like to have all my makeup out and available. So in the mornings I can pick and choose what I want to use and not get bored, and actually use things that I have and not get bored of using the same thing over and over again. On the other hand, what happens is that because it's not streamlined and everything isn't in one place, and I have to like go through all my lip products to select one, go through all my foundations and select one, go through all my eyeliners and select one, or my mascaras or whatnot. And that takes time. So I thought that by streamlining it and putting everything in one place, it would be really easy for me to just grab that basket and do my makeup and call it a day. And it actually did. I knew that what I was going to use was already out in that basket, and I didn't have to go fishing for anything else because that's what I wanted to try this week. And that worked. It worked in terms of time. So I think I'm going to shop my stash again for this next coming week. I'm just going to mix it up with the things that I'm going to use, especially the lip products and the cheek products, because I got bored of those really quickly. The eyeshadows, I didn't. I was just trying to test these out and see if they cause any reaction to my eyes. But I had a good mix, especially in that palette. If I had gone into it, I had so many options to do with my eyes. I don't think I would have gotten bored if those were the only eyeshadows that I had for even 2 or 3 weeks. But the cheeks and the lip products, I did. I got bored fairly quickly of them. And the foundation. I wanted to like mix it up a little bit with a foundation and not just have concealer and that powder foundation and have it be the only thing I was using for an entire week. So yeah, there you have it. I hope you found this interesting, and thank you for stopping by. I will see you again soon. Bye.